Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a good evening so far. Actually, adjust the webcam a little bit. And of course it resets that. Okay. Alright, let's go with that. Yep, we are actually gonna do some Genshin Impact tonight. I think the Siegeween banner just began. But we are not wishing on the Siegeween banner. I've got a bunch of Prima Gems saved up. I've got like 20,000 saved up, and I need to use them. They're like burning a hole in my wallet. And, so, I know this is crazy, man. 3+ years playing this, and I have not, maybe just like once, I think I wished on the weapons banner, and that was like back like right after like the game started, I think. So yeah. We'll do that later. Actually, I'm gonna check out this new event. Okay, the controller's doing its funky ass thing right now. Oh, we got a story quest now too. I forgot about that shit. Okay, well, we can do the story quest whenever. We only got 5 days on this event, so let's just see what the dealio is with this. Okay, so this is focused on overload, which is... What is overload? That's pyro and cryo? Is that right? Yeah, I've never bothered memorizing like the reactions in this game. Defeat an opponent within 3 seconds of triggering overload reaction. Okay, let me just double check and make sure that that's the right deal here. Genshin over. I need to just like print out a cheat sheet or something. No, it's pyro and electro. Okay. Yeah. Well, fuck. I only got like. Let's see. Yeah, I think for that I used um, the national team. Okay. I don't know, if this team doesn't work out well, then I guess we'll just use the trial characters, I guess.
You are not welcome here.
Ring cutter. Torn to oblivion. Illusion shattered.
At the frying pan, into the fire.
Everybody stand back. There is no escape.
I'm getting sick of this.
Now you're testing my patience.
Inazuma shines eternal.
Let's end this now.
Witness the power of Guhua.
Teamwork is dreamwork. Eat this! At the frying pan, into well.
Illusion shattered. Now you shall perish.
Unlucky today.
Let me weave you a bird.
I'm going in!
Let's light it up. Torn to oblivion.
You're toast! Go back, get them!
There is no escape.
Feeling lucky today.
Everybody stand back. Ring cutter. Now you shall perish.
No.
Yeah, I don't think this team is the greatest at triggering overloaded. See, that's the problem.
I'm going in. Let me weave you a bird.
Nice and spicy!
Torn to oblivion. Shine down.
At the frying pan, into the fire!
Okay. I guess we'll do the recommended then. So Kaching. I have no idea if this team has any kind of synergy. Probably not, but
You are not welcome. I got you covered. Check this out.
Nowhere to hide.
Let's end this now.
Incoming!
Ring cutter.
Teamwork is dreamwork!
Testing my patience. Fire it up.
Sick of this game.
Rain outline your fate. Huh? Let me weave you a
Here's backup.
Don't blink! Good? Cut to the chase!
Let's light it up!
Check this out.
Speed of light!
No, my sword! Rain outlines your fate. Ring cutter.
I'm going in!
Time to go to work.
Don't blink!
Fire it up.
Speed of light!
Is that all you've got?
No, my sword!
I got you covered. Check this out.
Nowhere to hide!
Now you're testing my patience.
Witness the power power.
Gotcha.
I'm getting sick of this. Ha. Don't blink. Hey!
Don't get too close.
Everybody stand! Ha. Speed of light. Get lucky that time. Left away. Don't blink.
Supporting fire.
Hey! Ha. Cut to the chase.
Following orders. Fire it up.
Well, shit, that team was even worse. Okay, maybe take him out then. I don't know. Okay. I don't know. Not sure if that's gonna make much of a difference, but
Shadow Raven, let's...
Here's backup. Check this out.
With sword comes shadow. Incoming. I'm getting...
Fire it up.
Cut to the chase. Speed of light. Let's light it up. Let's do everybody stand back.
Supporting fire.
Nowhere to hide. Midnight Phantasmagoric. I'm getting incoming.
Let's end this now.
With sword comes shadow. Odds revealed by...
Now you're testing. Don't get too close.
Teamwork is true. Don't blink. Nowhere to hide.
Here's backup.
Let's light it up.
Fire it up.
Cut to the chase.
Following orders.
New punching.
Shadow Raven, let night fall. Incoming. I'm going in. With sword comes shadow.
yeah, clearly this is not working either. Okay. I gotta find a good... Oh. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so it sounds like they're suggesting Yanfei, but I don't have Yanfei built up though. That's the problem. Yeah. um, hmm. Yeah, I'm probably gonna regret this, but Yanfei, official, um, Kazuha and Bennett. Let's see how that works.
You are not welcome here.
The birds call into the wind.
As you wish, me.
Replica flame! Motion to compel! Everybody stand back! I'm getting sick of
One with nature.
Testing my
I
patience.
summon thee! The law has...
Yeah. I mean, yeah, she just gets one shot killed, so I just fuck, can't use her.
You are not welcome here.
As one with wind and cloud.
Wings of darkness! Come, sever night...
I got you covered.
Check this out. Into the wind. Clouds high. The birds call.
By royal decree... Everybody stand back!
Fire it up. Supporting fire.
Midnight Phantasmagoria.
The wind knows.
Now you're testing my patience.
Fallen leaves. Adorn my night.
Going in!
Into the wind.
I got you covered. Unlucky today. Come on.
One with nature.
As you wish, me.
Everybody stand back!
As one with wind and cloud. Check this out.
No rest for the wicked.
The wind knows me.
Let's light it up!
Supporting fire.
Odds revealed by...
Time to go. Fallen leaves. Adorn my night.
I'm going in! Wings of darkness!
Don't get too close.
I summon...
I got you covered. You are not welcome here.
As one with wind and cloud.
Insubordination!
Fire it up.
Teamwork is dreamwork!
Patience. No rest for the wicked.
Into the wind. Supporting fire.
Shadow Raven!
Clouds high. The birds call.
Well,
Check this out.
I'm going in! I'm getting...
As one with wind and cloud. The wind knows me. Here's backup.
What the fuck, bitch?
Fine.
Gotcha.
Damn. Almost had it, but trying to think of. Man. What if I use Arlecchino instead of Toma here? Let me try that. I'm gonna put... Yeah, let's go with that.
You are not welcome here.
Fallen leaves, adorn my night! Tch!
Wings of darkness! Come, sever and let everybody stand back!
Now testing my patience.
One with nature! As one with wind and cloud! Laid bare!
Now you're testing my patience.
I'm getting sick of this.
Into the wind!
So what's the deal? She's not affected by fucking... What kind of horse shit is that?
Following orders.
Overruled.
Fallen leaves, adorn my night! The wind knows me.
Oz, reveal thyself!
Following orders.
Rocky today.
Everybody stand back!
As one with wind and cloud! Into the wind!
Shadow Raven, Black Knight!
Laid bare!
Well, there we go. That was the team. Let's see. Oh, jeez. Okay. Hold on. What? Oh yeah, the story quest. Okay. Alright. So. Okay, so what is it now? It's still overloaded? Okay, well, shit, I don't see why we don't just use the same team I just used. Yeah. Arlecchino, Bishel, Kazuha, and Bennett.
Clouds hide, the birds call!
Teamwork is dreamwork!
The wind knows me.
As you wish, main Fräulein.
As one with wind and cloud!
Everybody stand back! By royal decree!
One with nature!
phantasmagoria.
Let's light it up!
Shut.
Teamwork is dreamwork!
Fallen leaves, adorn my night into the wind.
Oz, reveal thyself.
Overruled, everlasting as the moon! Laid bare.
Everybody stand.
One with nature. Clouds high, the birds call.
Overruled!
I'm going in. Midnight phantasmagoria.
Oops, wrong person. Will you let me fucking change my
Fallen
character,
leaves,
please, you
adorn
fucking
my
piece of
night.
shit?
The wind knows me.
Transfixed!
By royal decree. Everybody stand back. Wings of darkness, come.
Clouds high, the birds call. One with nature.
Laid bare.
Okay. Barely, but I did it. Alright. Damn. And that's it, right? I can't do any more. Yeah. Okay. Well. Shoot. Okay, tell you what, let's just do this. Oh, yeah,
Add
I never did that. Okay. Let's go over here and
Take it easy.
okay, blah blah blah. Inspect the fountain to unlock. Oh, okay, that fountain. Okay. So they're talking about right near here, I think. Yeah. So not that one, but this one over here. Okay. I guess I should be reading this out loud. since it's not voiced. My parents were at the opera when it happened, and they told me to stay at home with my sister and entertain her with games or books. But Karatree wouldn't stop pestering me to take her out. I just couldn't stop her, and ended up taking her outside to play. When we got to the fountain, Karatree suddenly said she wanted to wait for her parents to come out of the opera so she could walk home with them. That doesn't sound too bad. Yeah. Oh, whoops.
Yeah, Paimon thinks since you already walked all the way, if you waited for your parents to come out, maybe they would have treated you to something yummy.
It was already really late by then. If Mom and Dad found out that I'd snuck my sister out and we were loitering around at night, they'd kill me. So I told a little white lie to Karatree. I told her I knew a magic trick that could make the fountain stop spraying water. Actually, I just knew the timing between spurts of water, and I wanted to amuse her and get her to go home. I correctly estimated when the fountain would stop, and my sister bought my magic spiel hook, line, and sinker. She wouldn't stop badgering me to teach her how to do this spell all the way home. So after I brought her home, I made up some stuff to satisfy her curiosity, and got her to go to bed before heading back to my room. Mom and Dad came home a little while later, and everything seemed normal. But the next day, when I was out getting the paper for Dad, I realized that this fountain was still not working. It was broken. Your magic is pretty powerful. Come on, don't tease me. If Karatree mentions this to Mom and Dad, I'm toast. Eh? The fountain at the plaza suddenly broke down? What do you think happened, dear? That's really strange. It seemed fine before we went to the opera that night. I know why. It's because Remaudier made it stop. Isn't that right? That's a really good impression. And what's more, they'll find out that my sister and I were out at night, and then they'll yell at me so much and I'll be in hot water for the next 2 months.
But this fountain should have someone managing it, right? If it's broken, can't they just call someone to fix it?
I told the fountain's manager, Edel, about this, and he promised me that he would fix it as soon as possible. But even now, the problem hasn't been sorted out. I can't hide it much longer. I'm finished. Totally finished. Oh, this isn't a big deal. I'll give you a hand. Really? You're willing to help? In that case, I'll give you my spare allowance. All of it. Edel is over there. Please hurry up and go ask him what's going on. Where? Who? What? Where am I going? Okay. This is weird. I don't recall ever hearing this music before. I don't know, maybe I have, I just don't remember. The pipes here need to be changed, and the valves. There's also the matter of cleaning the thing. Problems on top of problems. Huh? Do you need something? From the look of you, you're not Estelle's repair crew. About Remaudier. Oh, him? His magic is really something. It rusted a valve in the fountain's bottommost piping and almost completely broke the nozzle. I jest. Actually, it was the deformed valve getting stuck that jammed the entire water system. For safety reasons, we temporarily shut down the entire fountain. But why did the nozzle break? I really don't know. It's so weird. Remaudier keeps saying if the fountain doesn't get fixed soon, he's going to get chewed out, but there was only so much I could do previously. I finally had some time to order a new valve and nozzle from Estelle today, and I'm about to go to the city to get it. You can come with me if you want. I have quite a lot of things to collect, so I'm a little worried that I won't be able to manage on my own. Okay.
Hello, how can I... Oh, Adele?
I'm here for the valve and nozzle. If the fountain isn't fixed soon, we'll drive that kid Ramadier up the wall.
The valve, you say?
Why are you stuttering? Estelle, you didn't forget to make it, did you?
No, I did make one, but a previous client had to do urgent repairs on something else. So I gave her some general parts. Don't worry, I'm in the midst of making a new one right now. It'll be ready shortly.
Miss Estelle, I put that order in long ago.
I know, but that client of mine was in a hurry. She claimed that she needed to repair a sewage valve, and her pleading got the better of me. It's all right. Once the iron chunk I purchased arrives, I'll be able to make that valve. It should be here soon.
When did you put that order in?
This morning.
I'll go get you those iron chunks.
Really? Excellent then. Excellent. We'll be counting on you, traveler. Sorry, I'm really sorry. Just 3 iron chunks will be enough.
Well, we'll be counting on you, traveler. Don't worry about remuneration. I won't have you working for free. Yes.
These should be enough. Hang on, it'll only take me a second. Alright, done. We've got the valve and nozzle, as well as all the general components we'll need. It's all ready. Edel, Traveler, let's head to Aranese. As long as I'm there, the fountain should be fixed in no time.
Thank you. I'll take these things, Traveler. Let's get going. This is the place. Let's get to work. This fountain has been quiet for too long. Time to get it back up and running again.
The valve has been installed. I've also performed a comprehensive examination. No major issues.
Alright, then let's stand back for a moment. The only remaining task should be to open the sluice gate. Let's see. The main sluice is over there, and the secondary sluice will also need to be operated. Please wait for me here. I'm going to open the sluice gates. Who even designed this system? Why did they put the sluice gates so far away? Ah, opening them was a pain. I'm beat. Let's wait a moment. The water should come rushing in shortly. Awesome! The fountain is working again. Now, even if Karatree mentions what happened that night, I can pretend I don't know what she's talking about. Now you know to be careful with your magic shows. This isn't a problem caused by magic at all, but thanks a lot anyway. Here, this is my spare allowance. Please accept it. The payment I promised you is in there too. Thanks for your help.
And thank you too, Edel, Miss Estelle. This is as it should be. Think nothing of it. Next time, don't take your little sister out in the middle of the night. Brother, what are you doing here? Carrotry? What are you doing here? Weren't you supposed to be on a stroll with Mom and Dad? I ran off while they weren't looking. I wanted to see how the fountain's doing. Didn't you use magic to stop this fountain? I thought it wouldn't have started flowing yet. Magic has its limits. I'm sure you know that, right? It only works for a set amount of time. Oh, then I want to see more magic. Can you make the fountain stop again? This, Carrotry, there are lots of other people around, you know. If I stop it, I'll upset all the people who want to watch it. Well, we could just come back later. And let's bring Mom and Dad too. I'm sure they'll also want to see you do magic. Huh? No, that's... Dear sister, I haven't really fully mastered this fountain magic. I'm sure our parents won't want to see some lame, half-baked magic. That's why you can't mention my fountain magic to our parents just yet. I want to understand it thoroughly before surprising them. Okay, I'm sure they'll love it once you do. Yep, I'm sure they will. But let's head home first, alright? I can show you some new magic once we do. Okay. Now we're done with the encounter points for the day.
Thank you for
Okay. Let's go ahead and do the wishing on the weapons banner now. History. I don't think there's any history because I haven't wished on this banner in like forever. So. Alright, so I set my, whatever it's called, the epitomized path to the splendor of tranquil waters, because apparently that is a really good weapon for Furina, so. Oh, hey, what's up, Ox? How you doing? I'm gonna, do some wishing here, and then we'll flip over to, Chaos Child. How you feel about new Hollow Peeps? I'm enjoying them so far. Let's see, I've watched streams from Elizabeth, Gigi, and Cecilia now. I haven't gotten to watch Raura yet though, because she streams like at a kind of weird time. She streamed, well, for me she streams like really early in the morning, so I don't get to catch her streams because of that. But anyway. Lion's Roar, the most worthless fucking weapon in the game. saw a clip that might have been spoilers for DDLC Plus. Oh, really? Wait. From who? I don't remember any of the... Unless Rara did. I don't know. Lithic Blade. Do I have that? I don't remember. It says it's new, so... Let me check. Oh. Severe thunderstorm warning.
Can we play?
Big ass hail. Okay.
I'll get extra fee for that. I'll think about it.
Oh, was she? Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, I've already kind of been spoiled on how yeah, DDLC kind of goes. So, anyway, Lithic Blade. I think that was a Claymore, right? So let me try and find a Claymore user. No. Let's see. Yeah, there it is, Lithic Blade. Okay. We'll have to see if Lithic Blade is good for any of my characters. No, I haven't played DDLC.
I got a new letter.
Okay,
from the informant.
let's continue on with the wishing. I'll figure the Lithic Blade out later. Oh, cool. Brunson. Ooh, Layla. Pretty sure we haven't maxed Layla out yet. Or wait. Did I? No, I didn't. Okay. I think she's like C4 or something. Let me double check.
Situation has changed again.
Layla. Where is she? There she is. Oh, she's C0. Okay. Shit, I thought I had gotten some constellations on her, but I guess not. Alrighty. I guess let's keep going. Another Lithic Blade. That's it. Alright. Just keep going until we get a 5-star, I guess. Bonius Lance. Okay. Yeah. Oh, you know, it's funny.
Okay. Anyway, let's keep going. Like thick blade again. Alright, bro. Give me a fucking 5-star, please. Okay. Finally. Alright, what's it gonna be? Is it gonna be the... whatever. It's... dude, these fucking weapon names are like... yeah, just whatever, so I can't even remember what the name of the weapon was I'm wishing for. Bro, you have got to be fucking shitting me, dude. Wolf's Grave. I already fucking... dude, I only have, like, what, 2, 3 5-star weapons, and the Wolf Gravestone is one of them. And you just gave me a fucking another one, dude. You have got to be fucking shitting me, dude. Like, bro, what the hell? Wait, what was this again? Oh, yeah. Well, that fucking sucked. Alright. Switch over to the Chaos Child now. So I will probably stream this again whenever I get around to doing the Siegeween story quest. But that's gonna be probably at least a few days from now. Yeah, no Zane. Again. Alright. Well. Did you hear that Niji Sanji English had to cancel their concert that they were gonna do during Anime Expo? Why? 'Cause they didn't get enough people buying tickets, that's why. They only sold like 10 to 15% of the stadium's seats, so they ended up just canceling it. Game over, man. Yeah. Dude, I swear, Niji Sanji English just keeps taking L's. It's almost sad to see at this point. I swear, I don't know if I've ever seen a company suffer so much from just like one event, one decision, which was canning fucking Selene, man. Crazy. Anyway. So yeah, what happened yesterday? Well, Takaru finished preparing to leave Shibuya, but then he got a call from Sarika, and I'm trying to remember what Sarika told him. Oh yeah, she told him that she was the one who killed his parents. And after that, Takaru changed his mind about trying to leave Shibuya. He is now going to confront Sarika and Wataru, aka Dad. And he is going to try to find the full truth. What the hell is Sarika really up to? Because he is convinced that Sarika is still hiding something from him. Because some of the stuff she's done just doesn't add up. Why would she tell Takaru that she's trying to protect him, but then at the same time she kills his parents and is willing to fight Wataru possibly to the death, and then obviously if she's dead she can't protect Takaru anymore. So at the place where Sarika and Wataru are supposed to meet. So this is it. This is the big finale here. When I reached the Hikariwo, I realized that something was wrong. It was too quiet. Normally, even at this hour, the Hikariwo would be fairly noisy, but it was completely silent. There were no murmurs, no drunken shouting like I'd heard just a moment ago.
始まっちまったか。
I checked the time. 10:28 p.m. Everyone had gathered in front of Memorial Park, or the TVs in front of the station, for a silent prayer. Shinjo switched the car's navigation system to TV mode. It was displaying footage of the Memorial Park. I saw the ceremony and gasped. All the sound was gone from Shibuya. It was like a movie set. Suddenly, I was struck by a terror even greater than before. It felt like the moment of silence was for me as I headed to my death. Can I what? Can I see anything behind my webcam? Oh, my wall? What? I forced myself to smile and tried to tell myself that I was shaking from excitement, not fear. My mind was a confused jumble of thoughts. Half of me wanted to go home and half of me wanted to stay, but I forced myself to keep going. That's right. I have to know, no matter what.
Shinjo tossed something at me.
何ですかってこれ
I felt the sensation of rubber as I grabbed it. I tried to spread it out and stopped.
皮肉な話だが、手近にこれしかなかった。我慢してくれ。
いえ、ありがとうございます。
I lowered my head in thanks. There were still people standing between me and the theater cube.
すまないな。俺はここまでだ。浮君たちをそろそろ。
He looked at his watch.
分かってます。急いで彼女たちを秋葉へお願いします。
送り届けたら俺はすぐに戻ってくる。死ぬなよ。
はい。
I wiped my sweaty hands off on my pants and nodded. Then I took a deep breath to calm myself down. I put on the sumo sticker mask that Shinjo had given me and stepped out into a Shibuya utterly without sound. The silent prayer was continuing, and this was my chance. Several people looked at me as I got out of the car, but they must have been used to seeing the people in the masks. They quickly lost interest and lowered their heads once more. Everything was fine. They hadn't figured out who I was. I looked up at the Hikariwo building, which towered above me like some kind of fortress. The people around me all seemed suspicious, but I made it to the theater floor without anyone saying anything. But then I realized that something was wrong and stopped. There was no one on this floor. There were no customers, and not even a single employee. Even the convenience store, which was open during the festival, was empty. I took off the mask. My field of vision restored, I took another look around the floor. I was right. It was completely empty. There was no sign of Sarika or Dad either. The whole soundless space in front of me felt like a trap that I'd just walked into. I'd taken the mask off, but it still hurt to breathe. I tossed the mask into one of the decorative trees nearby and slowly started to walk across the floor. Every shadow scared me. Each time I reached a blind spot, I would stare at it a moment before I proceeded. Where was the entrance to the theater?
Huh?
When I found the stairs and escalator, I felt a wave of nostalgia. This was where I'd come with the rest of Alba Dorm. That's right. I'd gone up the stairs and into the theater. I flinched as the escalator started to move.
脅かすなよ。
It was just a motion detector. I knew that. But the machine seemed to be pulling me deeper into a trap. I looked up to the top of the escalator. There was no one there.
くそ。
I smacked my trembling legs with trembling hands, then slowly went up the stairs. This was the path that led to the theater, and it was probably leading me to the finale that either Dad or Sarika had prepared for me. And I was probably doing exactly what one of them wanted. But I had to find Sarika and the answer. And there was no way that desire was in anyone's script. It was my own, I thought. I had to find out the truth, for Nano's sake as much as my own. I went up to the entrance to the theater and put my hand on the heavy door. I felt a stabbing pain in my head the second I went inside. I staggered and leaned against the back of a nearby chair.
なんだ。まさか。
I forced myself to endure the pain and look around the theater. The theater was done up in the modern style, with stadium seating. The stage was at the lowest point in the hall, and the seats got higher up the further you went away, so it would be easier for the audience to see. The entrance was at the far back, behind the seats. When I looked down, I could see the whole room. The stage was completely empty. There were no props or backgrounds. The lights were focused on the stage, so the rest of the theater was dark and hard to see. The seats seemed empty, too. I couldn't see anyone. I couldn't hear any movement either. My first suspicion was Dad's mind control power. But if his power worked like ours, that meant he would need to share his delusions with me in order to reboot them. In other words, if what I was seeing was due to mind control, Dad must be watching me from somewhere nearby.
そうだ。
I suddenly got an idea and looked through my pockets. I found the lollipop that Kazuki had given me. I tossed it up and imagined it floating in the air. But instead of floating, it fell down into the thin row between the seats.
よし。
I sighed with relief, satisfied with what I'd seen. It was impossible for us to use our powers alone. If my psychokinesis wasn't working, it meant there was no one here. But I still kept my guard up as I walked toward the stage. If I remembered right, this place hadn't changed since the last time I was here. Come to think of it, if I'd come here to celebrate my acceptance to Hekiho Academy, it had only been 2.5 years since I'd last been here.
嘘だろ。そんなの。
It didn't seem real. It felt like so much more time had passed. Everything had changed. Nano and Yui were gone. Yuto had probably left his home and was on his way to Akihabara with Shinjo right now. And Dad... Suddenly, I heard a sound behind me and spun around. Standing there was... She looked just like she had when I'd seen her this morning. Not only was she not hurt, there were no signs that she'd even fought. Sarika waited for the door she'd come through to close, and then slowly walked towards me.
なぜここにいる?
Her voice was quiet but angry. She probably thought that I'd left Shibuya.
父さんは
死んだよ。
え？
舞台裏に頭だけ転がっている。半分潰れていて分かりにくいがな。
The look on my face must have been ridiculous. Sarika's voice was completely calm, and it was hard to believe she was lying. Dad was dead?
お前が殺したのか?
Her nod silently said, "Of course I did."
それで、なぜここにいるんだ? 久野里美桜たちはどうした?
So the fight already went down? Damn. How could she be so calm after killing someone? It was terrifying to see how unconcerned she was. My thoughts, feelings, and even my words were a jumbled mess, but I managed to tell her that Shinjo had taken them all out of Shibuya by now. And then I told her why I'd come.
お前、どうして電話であんなこと言ったんだよ。僕に何を望まれて生まれてきたんだよ。
Sarika looked at me as if she was staring at something very dear to her. I knew this feeling. Sarika was reading my mind. Suddenly, it appeared. Its design was far too complicated and intricate to be called a sword. It was sharp like metal, but it had a strange lust that was all its own. It was a D-sword, big enough to cover Sarika's entire upper body. It was what she'd used to kill Nano.
お前は久野里美桜たちと逃げるべきだったんだ。宮代拓。
Beyond her blade, I could see a slight change in her expression.
お前
It was the same look I'd seen before when she was talking about Dad, as if she hated everything she saw. Just as she jumped, I felt a burning heat in my right shoulder and fell to the ground. A moment later, I felt a pain like nothing I'd ever experienced before. I grabbed my shoulder with my left hand and felt something nasty, warm and sticky. It was blood. I'd been cut. If I'd reacted even a moment later, she would have chopped my entire shoulder off. Bro, what the fuck? She's attacking him now? Dude, what the fuck is her problem? Oh my god, dude, this Sarika is just complete fucking evil, dude. Holy fuck, man. I looked up. Sarika was already bringing her blade down. I forced myself to twist out of the way, ignoring the blood spurting from my shoulder. This time, the pain was in my left leg. I ignored it, too, trying my best to get away. Sarika walked over to me, slowly. I must have bit something in my mouth when I rolled, because I tasted something bitter and metallic. Sarika stopped, close enough to strike me with her D-sword, and began to speak.
佐久間に代わる人間がもう私に接触してきた。すでに逃げ場はない。お前を生かし続けることはできない。お前をこれまでの事件の被害者のようにはさせたくないんだ。
No way. That's why she was going to kill me? Just like she'd killed Nano with that D-sword? The pain from the cuts kept me from thinking, and the blood loss drained away my will to resist. I couldn't feel my left leg anymore, but I couldn't stop looking at Sarika. I wasn't sure. Were there any important blood vessels around the calves?
私もすぐに行く。向こうで話そう。
Sarika swung the D-sword at me. And then I felt something burst within me. I leapt at Sarika. I reached out my hand without thinking and felt something warm and rough. I heard her scream in my ears. By the time I'd realized I'd reached into the cut on her stomach and ripped out the stitches, I was already on top of her. Her D-sword had disappeared. My hand went for her neck. My fingers dug into her flesh. The only thing I saw was the red color dripping down the base of her neck. Was it my blood from when she'd cut my shoulder? Or hers when I'd ripped open her stomach? Or had my nails broken the skin on her neck? Whatever it was red, and it was spreading. I couldn't stop myself from gripping tighter. My fingers dug deeper and deeper, and the soft sensation of her skin began to recede. Instead, I felt thick muscle and hard bone. When it was all over, the pain in my leg and shoulder was gone. No, it was still there, but it didn't feel like my own pain. It was like I was watching myself on top of Sarika from a distance. But when I took my hands off her neck, that feeling disappeared, and everything else came flooding back. Sarika's eyes had rolled up into her head, and her tongue was sticking out of her mouth. I felt an unpleasant wetness in my underwear. It was her blood from where I'd sat on her. The blood was pouring out from the gash in her stomach. Sarika wasn't moving anymore. Did I kill her? Did I strangle her to death? I suddenly felt the urge to vomit. Why? What was I doing on top of Sarika? Why were my hands covered in blood? My head hurt. My field of vision was red. My heart was pounding hard, and under me was the body of the girl I'd created. I cradled my head in my bloody hands. It hurt so much it felt like it was going to burst. My eyes hurt too. Everything was turning red. Suddenly, my vision cleared. The lights above the stage seemed impossibly bright, like the sun at the end of a tunnel. There was a pain in my eyes. I reached up my hand and my fingers were covered in pink tears. And then I realized Sarika wasn't here. My fingers weren't covered with blood. I twisted my neck to look at my shoulder. My clothes weren't even cut. There wasn't a single wound on my leg either. What was going on? I was sitting on the ground, alone, by the seats near the entrance.
ひでえやつだな。そんな男に育てた覚えはねえぞ。
I leaped up to my feet.
"父さん?"
Dad was up on the stage. He was standing in the center, like the lead singer at a musical. And at his feet,
お前
Sarika, the girl I thought I'd just killed, was lying at his feet. There was no blood on her clothes, and the cut on her stomach hadn't been torn open. But she must have been unconscious, because she wasn't moving.
こいつは妄想のお前に殺されそうになっても一切抵抗しなかったぞ。いじらしいじゃないか。
I suddenly understood what was going on. Mind control. But when?
まさか劇場に入った時にはもう
When I came inside, I'd felt a sharp pain, and my vision had blurred for a moment. When I tested my powers with the lollipop, was I already under his spell? The pain and heat had felt so real, but it was all an illusion. But I could still feel the sensation of wringing Sarika's neck.
あのままこの子に殺されてりゃ、お前のここも壊れてたはずなんだがな。
Dad tapped his own heart.
逆に殺しちまうってのはどうだよ、タクラ。女に手を挙げる男はモテねえぞ。
Hearing Dad talk in the same tone he always did was almost enough to get me to let my guard down. But this wasn't the man I knew. The man on stage wasn't the Dad I knew.
なんだあの機械
I took a good look at it. Dad was holding some kind of backpack, and I could see some kind of device inside.
何を背負ってるんだ
Dad was wearing a piece of headgear that connected to it. That is exactly what I was just wondering, Ox. What if the mind control thing isn't even really a power? What if he's just doing that with that backpack? And the long cylindrical machine he was holding was connected to it by a cord. If he had psychic powers like we did, then he had to have one too. That was Dad's D-sword. But why did he have it? I thought that those powers only appeared in brains that were still developing during the earthquake.
これまでの研究によれば、脳がまだ発達段階で活発に活動している若い人間、その中でも脳への負荷が非常に高い事象を経験した者だけに能力の発現が見られる。
That's what Kunosato had said.
ああ、これか。
Dad saw what I was looking at and tapped his backpack with the D-sword.
すげえだろ。俺たちの研究成果の一つさ。俺みたいな普通の人間でもギガロマニアックスと似たような能力が持てる。こいつはある装置の端末でな。その装置ってのは以前ここにあったんだが、ちょっとトラブっちまって。おかげであの地震だ。ひでえ目にあった。
Yeah, he had those the stake things. Yeah. Dad sounded like a child whose favorite toy had been broken. It was clear he didn't care at all about the people who died or whose lives had been ruined during the earthquake.
そのせいで俺らもリストラされちまうしよ。金もね、人もいねえで、組み立て直すのに6年もかかっちまった。いいんかいのバカどもが。
So that was how he'd been able to do that to Ito? And how he'd been able to kill Yui? I felt a mix of rage, sorrow, and hate. All the feelings were so strong I wanted to scream.
はい、お前のことを何とかすりゃ、また研究に戻れるからな。
It was as if he was picking just the right words to make me even angrier.
正直、ちょっと焦ったぜ。あの絵のやつ、一人でここへ来やがったからよ。お前が来なきゃ話にならねえし、めんどくせえことになったと思ってたんだが。
He looked down at her and poked her with the artificial D-sword. She still didn't move. It couldn't be. Was Sarika...
ん？死んでるぞ。当然だろう。
Funny, ain't it? He seemed to say.
思考誘導をかけられて妄想の中で戦わされてるって気づいたんだな、こいつ。最後、ディソードを引っ込めて、お前に殺される瞬間まで抵抗一つしなかった。どこまでお前のことが大事なんだか。
He kicked her hard enough that she turned over.
やめろ。
それにしてもお前すごかったな。ノノを殺された恨みに取り憑かれてるからよ。それをちっとブーストしてやったんだ。そしたら情けも容赦もなくぶっ殺したもんな。お前もどこまでノノが大事なんだか。
I could feel my whole body getting hot. Stop it. Don't say Nano's name. Not with that face, not with that voice.
何考えてんだよ。
ああ
The way Dad's expression didn't change at all, only made me madder. Did he really not understand? We'd all lived together for years, right? We'd come here as a family, hadn't we?
ユウトとウキは、ユイだってずっとあんたを信頼してた。それに
And Nano.
きっかけはタクルのリハビリの手伝いをしていた時に父さんに言われた言葉。独学なのにやるじゃないか、なかなかだぞという一言でした。きっと父親というのはそういうものなんでしょう。父さんが作った家のルール、私は好きでした。ありがとう。くれぐれも飲みすぎには注意してください。
信じてたんだ。大切な家族だって。なのに何考えてんだよ。
My words echoed off the walls of the theater and came back to me again and again. And then I realized that I was the same way. I believed in Dad too, from the bottom of my heart. But he... Dad chuckled and scratched his head, like I'd seen him do many times before. It was the same thing he'd done when Nano was scolding him at home.
タクルよ、 お前なんか楽しいことってあるか？
は？
なんかあんだろう、面白いと思うこと。それがなきゃ人間なんてやってらんねえだろうが。
What was he talking about? That wasn't what I asked.
なんでユイを殺した？ノノを殺した？
ん？ユイをやったのはお前の友達だし、ノノをやったのはこいつだろうがよ。
うるさい！
おお、怖え。
What the hell was so funny? I clenched my hands into fists, my grip so tight in my rage that my nails dug into my skin.
あんたどうしてこんなことできるんだ？おかしいだろ。
何怒るなって。今言ったろ？楽しまなきゃダメだ。
What the hell does that mean, though?
俺はな、お前に期待してたんだよ。人間一人リアルブートしちまうくらいぶっ壊れてたからな。どこまでいけるか、どこまで震えるか、楽しみにしてた。
はあ？
お前みてえなギガロマニアックスが好きなことを好きなだけやるようになったら本当にすげえんだぜ。この世界すらめちゃくちゃにできちまう。面白え、たまんねえ。それを観測して計算して理論を組んでまた実験して、そのループの先にどんなもんが現れるのか俺は見てみてえな。ワクワクしねえか、タクル。
Dad kept using the same voice he'd always used at home. But I wasn't hearing a word. The anger inside me just kept building.
とにかくよ、どんな時でも自分が面白いと思うことに従っとけ。これは父親代わりの人生訓ってやつだ。
父親だと？あんたなんか父親じゃない！
I screamed, but Dad kept smiling.
とにかくな、俺にとっちゃギガロマニアックス研究は最高だ。こんなに楽しいこと他に存在しねえ。これがお前の質問への答えだ。
そんな。
That was the only reason? The only reason he'd worked for the committee? The only reason he'd done those horrible experiments in the basement?
ユイやノノや伊藤たちをあんな目に合わせたの、それだけのために。
だから何回言ったらわかんだよ。面白えだろ、その方が。
お前！
The next thing I knew, I was running. The D sword appeared in my hand instantly. It had no weight, but I could feel it was there. I listened to the blades roar as I ran down the corridor. and swung it upward at the bastard on the stage.
Oh?
There was a high-pitched noise and a brilliant light, and I stopped. My hand went numb for a second. The mechanical D-sword had blocked my swing.
Alright.
Dad's muscles bulged like thick ropes as he swung his giant D-sword down at me. I barely managed to block it, but the impact knocked me back into the front row seats. There was a sharp pain in my arm. It had been cut a little. It was a delusion before, but this time, real blood was running down my arm.
おいおい、お前の腕力で俺とチャンバラする気か?
Dad didn't move a step. He raised the giant D-sword onto his shoulders. His huge body was at least 185 centimeters tall, and he towered over me from the stage like a wall.
ま、たまには息子と遊んでやるか。娘ばっかり相手にしてちゃかわいそうだしな。ほら、こっちに来いよ。観客がしたい一つってのは物足りないけどな。
Then he kicked Sarika's unmoving body once more. I felt anger, but also an indescribable despair. What was I doing here? I'd come to find out the truth from Sarika, but I'd killed her myself. There was no reason for me to be here anymore. So didn't that mean there was no reason to try and fight Dad? No, it wouldn't even be a fight. I'd probably just get myself killed. So maybe... When Sarika had cut open my leg before, it had only been an illusion. I could run to the exit. If I caught him off guard, I could escape, maybe. But... I went forward. I hadn't done any real exercise since my physical therapy 6 years ago. A vision of Nano and Yui flashed through my mind. And for some reason, I saw Sarika smiling, like she used to do when we were in the newspaper club.
どうした?早く舞台に上がれ。客が退屈してるぞ。
When I looked at him, I suddenly had an idea in the corner of my mind. I remembered what he'd said, that the machine on his back was what gave him his power, that he was an artificial gigalomaniac. Then what if I could get rid of that machine?
やれるかもしれない。いや、やるんだ。
I stood and climbed up onto the stage. The lights shone down upon my head. I could hear a non-existent crowd screaming for my death from the empty seats. I readied the D-sword. My hands still felt a little numb.
おお、主役っぽいぞ、タクル。それでいい。
I took a step to the side, trying to look as natural as possible.
あいつがあのままの姿勢でディソードを使うなら。
By moving to the side, I was able to see part of the device on his back. I hit him with my power as hard as I could. Dad heard a noise behind him and turned around. I had a clear view of the machine.
そこだ。
I concentrated harder and hit him with more of my power.
てめえ。
Dad howled like a wild animal and swung his D-sword. But I didn't stop. As long as I can destroy that machine. My vision suddenly blurred. I felt a cold wind on my cheek, and I could see the city in the distance. Where was I?
学校の屋上。くそ。
More mind control. I panicked and tried to use my D-sword. It was gone. The D-sword had disappeared.
なんでだよ、ちくしょう。
I concentrated as best I could. I imagined the pale light of the sword. Come on. Come on. I couldn't see him or sense him. But Dad was probably right in front of me with his huge D-sword. But I couldn't make my D-sword appear. I couldn't see it. I couldn't find it. It was always supposed to appear when I imagined it.
なにのんちゃん、話って。
Sarika was standing there on the roof. And so was...
白々しいわね。あなたなら聞かなくてもわかるんでしょ、セリカ。
It was Nano. Nano was standing in front of me, talking.
生きてたのか。
Nano is...
いや、違う。
My sense of logic dispelled the hope that was forming in my mind. This was mind control. Dad's power was causing me to hallucinate.
The two of them were right in front of me, but didn't seem to know I was there.
分かっていたんだな、クルスノノ。ええ。
Suddenly, Sarika changed. The smiling, happy girl from the newspaper club disappeared. She became a cold, remorseless killer.
やめろ。尾上。
I knew I was being mind controlled, but couldn't help myself. I felt a cold chill in my heart, and all the hairs on my body stood up on end.
Nara, こうなることも分かっていただろう。
Sarika's D-sword appeared in her hand. Nano didn't seem surprised. She just glared at Sarika. Stop it. Stop it, Sarika.
タクルのことも殺すつもり？それはない。あいつのことは私が生かし続ける。それが私の存在理由だ。信じられないわ。だから私はあなたを止める。この命を使ってでも。そう言うと思った。だからお前は邪魔なんだ。
やめろ。
I screamed as Sarika stepped forward, but there was no sign that she heard me. I tried to summon my D-sword, but it didn't work. I tried to get between the two of them. What was Nano's power? I don't think we ever found out, did we? And I realized I couldn't move. My legs felt like they were frozen to the ground.
どうして
But my head was clear. I couldn't let this happen. I knew I had to stop it, but... Sarika and Nano's D-swords slammed into each other. There was a flash so bright I was forced to close my eyes. And Nano's D-sword cracked.
「見込み違いだったな。お前の思考は丸見えだ。まだ私に友情を期待しているとはな。」
Sarika kept going forward. There was no hesitation on her face.
やめろ。やめろ。
No matter how much I screamed, they didn't hear me. I couldn't move. Sarika crossed right in front of me, carrying her gigantic, deadly weapon.
私の中に友情など存在しない。
And in the next moment,
タクル、ごめんね。
it felt like Nano looked at me.
And then Sarika's D-sword ran her through. And suddenly, I was seeing something else. I felt a cold wind on my cheek, and I could see the city in the distance. I could hear a sob. I'd been crying without realizing it. I looked around, forgetting even to wipe the tears from my cheeks. The roof was lit up by the moon. There was nothing here. There was no one here. Of course, there was no sign of Sarika or Nano's body. Then what was that?
落ち着け落ち着くんだ
It was all mind control, all just a hallucination. It was a fake vision that my dad had created. That's right, it was just like a movie. It had to be. Nano died at Sarika's hand. Sarika had killed Nano. That had really happened. I'd seen it. But it wasn't happening now. It was all part of the past. There was no changing it.
何のんちゃん、話って。白々しいわね。あなたなら聞かなくてもわかるんでしょ、セリカ。
Again. The two of them were standing there, just as they were before.
分かっていたんだな、クルスノノ。
ええ。
なら、こうなることも分かっていただろう。
タクルのことも殺すつもり？
それはない。あいつのことは私が生かし続ける。それが私の存在理由だ。
信じられないわ。だから私はあなたを止める。この命を使ってでも。
そう言うと思った。だからお前は邪魔なんだ。
The two of them played out the exact same scene as before. There was still no sign that they'd noticed me. My heart began to pound loudly again. I remembered how it felt to hold Nano's body in my hands. The smell of her blood and the way the warmth drained from her body, and the way her eyes would never look at me again. Calm down. I tried to tell myself that again and again. This was part of the past. Screaming wouldn't change it.
いや、そうじゃない。
Maybe this wasn't even part of the past. I hadn't heard this conversation. Everything except the fact that Sarika had killed Nano might be a hallucination that my dad had created. I tried to run away, growing ever more frustrated at my unmoving legs. But nothing worked. That's right. The real me wasn't even here. I was on top of the stage, trapped in a hallucination, with Dad and his gigantic D sword standing right in front of me.
"見込み違いだったな。お前の思考は丸見えだ。まだ私に友情を期待しているとはな。
Sarika raised her D sword and advanced. It was coming back. I never wanted to go through that again, but it was coming back. I looked away. No, I tried to look away. But my head wouldn't move. I couldn't take my eyes off it. Nano looked at me.
タクル、どうしてそこにいるの？
Sarika killed Nano again. Alright. Alright, I'm just gonna go ahead and stop here. I don't know how long this shit's gonna go on, so I better get going. Alright, Dad of the Year stream. Well, it was Father's Day just a couple days ago. Alright. I'll be back again tomorrow. And we'll just continue with Chaos Child. Yeah. Guess I got nothing else, so see y'all tomorrow. Have a good night.